Okay, in this series of videos we're going to talk about how to find and modify a script, combining that with an action to allow you to put a file name on the front of all your images. To start off with, just go to Google and type in Adobe Exchange and go to their website, which you can see right up here in the taskbar, adobe.com cfusion/exchange blah 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 blah. Anyway, once you get to, so just Google Adobe Exchange. Once you go there, go to the Photoshop, and in search Photoshop, type in add file name. Do a search for that, and you're looking for this add file name plus. Make sure that you're signed into an Adobe Exchange account, which you'll have created when you create your Adobe login, and just press download. If you're not logged in, it will prompt you to do that at that time. Once that download is completed, you will have a file called addfilenameplus.js. The JS means it's a JavaScript. Now you can edit that JavaScript in any simple text editor. On a Mac, that could be TextEdit. On a PC, it could be Notepad. You can also get from the internet a program called Notepad++. There is a Mac and PC version available for that, and I believe that's a free application. In addition, you have a program that got installed with Photoshop called Adobe's Extended Script Toolkit, and that's what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to take and drag and drop this onto my Extended Script Toolkit to open it up. Now, when we look at this, there is, you'll see there's some color codes on this. There's a lot of text in there. You're looking at it, and it could honestly be a bit overwhelming. I know the first time I looked at one, that's how I felt. But let's break this down and look at it in sections, and it's not that hard to understand if you go through it pretty smooth. First off, everything that's in green, and this is an advantage of using this in the Extended Script Toolkit, is I'll get some color codes on this. I'm not necessarily going to see those types of things in Notepad++ or any other text editors. So by doing it through the Extended Script Toolkit, seeing what's green lets me know those are kind of like what we call a REM statement, remember this statement. It doesn't affect anything in the program. It's for me to read to understand what's going on. We'll see in here there's some copyright information by the person who originally wrote the script. We'll see, hey, this is going to explain what's happening on specific lines to go through there. The next thing to notice is all the blue lines are kind of our commands. We don't want to touch those at all. The lines that are in red are some of the variable information that we can come through and modify. For example, you'll see right here it says if you want to show the file name extension, you can turn that on or off, and it tells you exactly what to do. I don't want to see a file name extension. If you want text to show up before that file name, type that in, and you'll see exactly, it says delete it, leave the quotes in. Or I could just say image and put a colon and a space, and that's going to put that at the beginning of the file name. Next, I could put copyright information on that, and so I will delete that out and put my copyright symbol and put in the studio name there. I'm using some images from Colleen & Company. The next information is going to be the font size in points, the font that we're going to use, as well as the color of that font. Now, right now, I'm going to leave those as the defaults. I'm not going to change those because I'm going to manipulate that through my action. The next thing is the position. This is how far over and down this text is going to be placed. Now if we scroll back up to the top here, we can see our unit rulers are set to be percentages, and that means that by having this set as a percent, we can use some different aspect ratios and different image sizes, and this is still going to work correctly. So Since my rulers have been set to percent, when I come back down here, I can see that's going to be 2% over from the left and then 98% down. And actually, I want to make that a little bit bigger. So I'm going to make that 10% and 90%. So that I'm over a little bit further and a little bit further down. So anything that might happen, trim or safety or a little bit of magnification, is going to be okay. If I want to change blending modes, which I'm not going to, or layer opacity, I could set that in there. Everything else is going to come through and give me some other options that I'm not going to modify. And then it's going to come in and say, hey, I've got text before, and text before right here is this variable called image plus a space plus file name, which is a command, plus the text after, and my text after is going to be my copyright information. So I'm not going to change a lot in the script. If I wanted to, I could go and get the name of the font. I could get RGB values for colors, but I want to handle that in an action so I don't have to mess with this script time in and time out. Once my editing on the script is good, I'm going to come up and save it, and I'm going to save it as, and I'm going to just give this a new name. So I know what it is. I'm going to call it Colleen Front Text and make sure that extension JS is saved on that, and press save, and then I'll exit out of there. Now we see right here I have my new script created, Colleen, right there, and in the next video we'll install that and start working in Photoshop.